burn them out from every cribbits and corners, innit? Watch yourself, rude boy. Hey, rock way. Uno vampire. Watch them fire. Demons of darkness. And now you bring the fire come for burn them out from every cribbits and corners, innit? Watch yourself, rude boy. Hey, rock way.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, how y'all doing? How is it going in your neck of the woods? Hope y'all are well, and when this video hit you, you will be well. Yeah, you will be doing better than well. My name is Chris Wilby from Caribbean Vibes Radio Network, host of the Chris Wilby Show. Heard on this channel here on YouTube and on CaribbeanVibesRadio.com every Thursday at 8 to 10 p.m. All right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are in the political season in Jamaica, and all kinds of things are happening. But as you know, the People's National Party is vying to become the government, and they have been campaigning on corruption. But I don't understand how a party can be campaigning so heavily on corruption and is caught doing corrupt deeds. Ladies and gentlemen, the People's National Party, the PNP, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know. We cannot allow the People's National Party to form the next government of Jamaica. I was planning on sitting out this election, and not commenting too much on it. But the stakes are very high. And growing up in Jamaica, under the People's National Party, I remember how difficult it was. I remember the scandals after scandal after scandal, one after the other. And even though I am not living in Jamaica right now, I am making preparation to come back to my homeland at some point to live out my golden years. And under Andrew Holness's administration, the country has been progressing. Are they perfect? Absolutely not. But they are not just governing in a vacuum. They don't exist in a vacuum. You have to think about the alternative. And my God, can we trust these people? Can we really trust these people to run the country? Ladies and gentlemen, we have to think carefully. We have to think carefully of what we are doing. We don't want to hand over the reins of government, because if these guys take power, somebody say we're kinda dark. We cannot allow them to reverse the progress, the gradual, steady progress that Andrew Michael Holness has been making with the country. We are in a very precarious position right now. And as I said before, I understand that things are not perfect. I understand. that some people are still feeling a little bit of pain. But trust me, the alternative is worse. So let us not get distracted. So all those of you who are watching this video right now, I want you to share it. Like, subscribe, and share. Share your thoughts on this video. Comment in the comment section. And let us spread the word that we cannot allow the People's National Party under this guy. You see him face? We cannot allow him to take the reins of government in Jamaica. We just can't. We can't allow it. News coming from out of Jamaica. We have some other news that we're going to be discussing throughout the program. But I want you, ladies and gentlemen, to hear this. I want you to listen to this clip here. Dr. Dayton Campbell, Andrew Swaby, and other stalwarts in the People's National Party is under investigation. Now, the People's National Party, my friends, the People's National Party, the PNP in Jamaica, is vying to become the government of Jamaica. And if you know anything about Jamaica and Jamaican politics, you would know that under the PNP, there were lots and lots of corruption. Lots and lots of corruption. But the PNP has now been in opposition for 2 terms, going on 10 years. And they've been trying to get back into power. And one of the things that the People's National Party was campaigning on and banking on was that the Jamaica Labour Party was too corrupt for the country. And I always say to people, it doesn't make sense, because I think the PNP should not factor so much on the corruption. They should not focus so much on the corruption of the Jamaican government, because corruption is a culture. It is something within our culture. And pardon me for saying this, but as a Jamaican, I can say that I believe Jamaicans are just, unfortunately, a corrupt set of people. It's just what I believe. That's just my opinion. It's my thought. It's my belief that Jamaicans are just a set of corrupt people. The People's National Party ran on corruption. They got traction because the Jamaica Labour Party gave them a lot of ammunition because of a lot of scandals and corruption in the Jamaica Labour Party government. So I'm not here to carry any water for the Jamaica Labour Party. I'm just here to state facts. People's National Party, corrupt, one of the most corrupt political parties in the Caribbean. That's a fact. It was reported that the People's National Party in Jamaica is one of the most corrupt parties, political parties in the Caribbean. Now, apart from that, when they were in government, they did a lot of corrupt things. And they want to get back to power. And they will do anything to get back in power. Anything at all. Matter of fact, one big wig in the PNP, I believe it was Robert Pickersgill, at one point said they believe, he said it on record, they believe it is good for the People's National Party to be in government, so they will do whatever it takes. They will do anything that will allow them to form the government. Anything. he said, they will do to form government. That is from the People's National Party. Somebody from within the People's National Party said that. Another person from the People's National Party also said, and these are not just like some little people from outside the periphery of the People's National Party. These are bigwigs in the People's National Party. And I'm going to quote Ronnie Thwaites. No small fish in the People's National Party. Ronnie Thwaites did say at some point that the People's National Party has seen the biggest transfer of wealth from the rich, from the poor to the rich, that has occurred in Jamaica since the abolition of slavery. Ronnie Thwaites said that. As a People's National Party member of Parliament, Ronnie Thwaites said that. So I said all of this to say this. While the People's National Party is running on corruption, they're running their campaign on corruption, ladies and gentlemen, they are caught doing corrupt deeds even before they get into government. Even before they get into government, they are caught being corrupt. Can you imagine when they get into government and get their hands on, if they are behaving this way while they are in opposition and they now believe that the wind is at their backs, and they stand a very great chance of becoming the government, so they become so, they believe that they are going to. So here's a clip from Nationwide News Network in Jamaica. I want you to listen to this clip, ladies and gentlemen, and then we're going to move on with the show.
And now to the details. Nationwide News understands that at least 2 anti-corruption agencies are investigating whether public money from the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation, the KSAMC, was used to finance the political campaign activities of some of its representatives, including constituency caretakers. This investigation appears to be a consequence of the fallout between the PNP and its former caretaker of Central Kingston, Lawrence Rowe. Nationwide News has seen and heard conversations involving Rowe, PNP General Secretary Dr. Dayton Campbell, and an employee of the KSAMC. The conversations raise serious questions about whether the PNP-controlled KSAMC is using the tax dollars of Jamaicans to shore up support for political representatives in its bid to help the PNP retake control of central government. Nationwide News has made several attempts over the last 3 days to provide Dr. Campbell, Lawrence Rowe, and the KSAMC employee opportunities to respond to the allegations. George Davis has this Nationwide News exclusive.
Nationwide News has seen a record of the conversations between Lawrence Rowe and the PNP General Secretary, Dr. Dayton Campbell. One particular conversation happened on December 22, 2024, and began at 7:06 p.m. Rowe, who at the time was the PNP's caretaker in Central Kingston, wrote to Dr. Campbell, quote, "I am beginning to wonder if there is any sincerity towards winning this seat by KSAMC. Let me tell you why." End quote. Rowe then explained to his General Secretary that Christmas work was done in downtown Kingston, and he was only able to recommend 2 names to be engaged. Rowe complained that PNP caretakers in West Kingston and other areas were treated better. Rowe then complained that for the Christmas, the KSAMC only sent him $300,000, while the PNP leadership in Northwest St. Andrew received over $500,000. Rowe also lamented to Dayton Campbell that a senior official at the KSAMC, who's also a prominent member of the PNP, was in Central Kingston giving money to some comrades without notifying him. The PNP controls the KSAMC. Dr. Campbell responded, telling Rowe that the monies were allocated strategically in light of the PNP's preparation for 2 by-elections.
I can tell you why that happened. That's because they put more money in the 2 divisions that we're going to have by-elections in. So we're going to have a by-election in Chancery, I'm going to have a by-election in Denham Town. So they put some more money in the two divisions that are going to have the by-elections.
Dr. Campbell then sought to reassure Lawrence Rowe that the PNP does indeed take seriously the job of winning Central Kingston in the next general election.
Brother, Central Kingston is a Muslim seat. Believe you me when I tell you, Central Kingston is a Muslim constituency. Everybody agrees that if we're going into government, which is our plan, we need Central Kingston. I don't have nobody that says we can win it.
Nationwide News understands that at least 2 anti-corruption agencies are probing the alleged use of monies for political purposes by the KSAMC leadership with the knowledge of the PNP Secretariat. It's understood that the probe is partly based on claims that several PNP representatives were contacted and told to collect hundreds of thousands of dollars from the KSAMC to use however they deem fit. Our news center has also seen a conversation between Rowe and an officer at the KSAMC, Audrey Smith-Facey. Smith-Facey served as PNP councillor for the Painland Division in Southwest St. Andrew for 23 years. She currently serves on the administrative support team for Kingston's mayor and the chairman of the KSAMC, Andrew Swaby. Her conversation with Rowe appears to support Rowe's claim to Dr. Campbell that he was given $300,000 cash by the KSAMC. On December 17, 2024 at 7:16 p.m., Smith-Facey wrote to Rowe, quote, "$300K, you determine what it is to be used for," end quote. Rowe responded, "Respect." And before closing out that part of the conversation, Smith-Facey told the then PNP caretaker, quote, "Note well, this is not for public knowledge," end quote. George Davis for Nationwide News.
Meanwhile, our news center has been making several attempts to get an on-the-record response from the people involved for inclusion into our report. Mahiri Stewart has the details of our extensive efforts to get a comment from the leadership of the People's National Party.
We called Dr. Dayton Campbell's mobile phone 7 times between Tuesday and Wednesday to afford him the opportunity to respond to the matter. He was called 5 times between 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. on Tuesday, January 28. On the 5th occasion, he answered the phone but refused to give us a response on the record. We attempted to contact him a further 3 times on Wednesday, January 29. Those calls were placed between 2 p.m. and 3:30 p.m. All 3 calls went to voicemail. On Wednesday evening, Dr. Campbell called our Deputy Executive Editor, George Davis, and spoke with him for 39 minutes. He was asked repeatedly to provide an on-the-record response to the issues raised for inclusion in the report. Dr. Campbell steadfastly refused, saying he would no longer be commenting publicly on any matter concerning Lawrence Rowe. At the end of the conversation, which began at 5:22 p.m., he again refused to entertain a request for an official comment on the record about the issues, despite being on the phone for 39 minutes. We cannot report any of what he said during the conversation because he was adamant that he was off the record. His discussions with Davis was the second off-the-record conversation with our news center. On Tuesday, January 28, he spoke with Ricardo Brooks for 6 minutes and 30 seconds. He also refused our request then to go on the record. Kingston's Mayor Andrew Swaby was called 7 times between Tuesday and Wednesday of this week. 4 calls were placed to his mobile phone on Tuesday between 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. Another 3 calls were placed to his mobile phone on Wednesday between 2 p.m. and 3:30 p.m. All calls went to voicemail. Councillor Facey was contacted 11 times between Tuesday and Thursday. None of the calls were answered. Messages were left with both Facey and Mayor Swaby asking for a return call in relation to the story being pursued. We also attempted to contact Lawrence.
All right, so there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's the gist of the story with the People's National Party, and I'm gonna have more on that in another video that I will be uploading to my YouTube channel. I'm gonna dive deeper into that. Anyway, so ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. The People's National Party. Do you want them back in government? Leave your comment, like, subscribe, and share. And I will catch you on the next video. My name is Chris Wilby.
Demons of darkness, and now you bring fire come for burn them out from every crevice and corners. Watch yourself, rude boy. Hey, back way.